Welcome to the Thursday edition of what we do here, Harmonic Pattern Podcast number 394. What's up, folks? How you doing today? What's up? I'm all right. Got to talk about a few things, but first, you know what to do. Get your software here. TradingView, username to hpc at sr-analyst.com. It all starts there. I don't even want to talk about it today. Let's go right to the charts. How about this? Fear and greed. The fear-greed index in Bitcoin hits basically a multi-year low at 86,000. And that's something. Getting closer. But what we do here is we talk about actual levels, price levels, actionable opportunities, direction, character of the market as defined by the harmonic pattern framework. So let's get into it. I hope you guys enjoyed Tuesday. Check out Randy Hipper over at Miss Teen Crypto. She really is great. I think she might have something with the Litecoin comment. But I always bring it back to the levels. Because why are we here? To make money. And how do we make money? We define levels, market character, know when to buy, know when to sell, know what to expect, or at least to have a pretty clear idea. Right now, Bitcoin down, NASDAQ, S&P, NASDAQ's down almost 190 after being up early, and then S&P is down 20, and they're not looking good, kids. What's going on, chat? David, as always, how are you today? Echo, Saint Stephen, hilarious. Snipes, Mr. Pips, Yomi, Victoria, Wayne, everyone else. How you guys feeling today? What do you think about this Bitcoin thing? People are freaking out. Hit the like button if you enjoy what we're doing here. Subscribe to the channel so you get the updates. You can be a part of the group. Let's get the Bitcoin situation out of the way. This is S&P right now, guys. I'm actually looking for this right here at 59.52. I'm glad to be showing you this. If this market is going to bottom, and we'll check this out through the day, we're checking back against that dot right now, literally that yellow dot. So we'll come back to see this in a second. I'm telling you. I think there's some things we got to think about. We got to think about, really what's happening with asset allocation, money flow. That's what the Bitcoin story is all about. I mean, here's S&P, and we know we've got big patterns on S&P. Not like that pattern, like this pattern. Bring it back in here. I mean, we're still dealing with these big zones. So what happens up here is important. Tomorrow is the last day of the month. I think that's something. You have something to go on, at least tomorrow being the last day of the month. Let me bring this back here. Get that into your screen. There you go. And let's go over to Bitcoin really quick. Rest of the crypto market has completely collapsed. Outside of one or two vehicles, this has just been devastating for the alts, and Bitcoin's probably on deck to do the thing that we've been waiting for, which is 76,500, 76,400. Let's get a better feed than that. Let's get the index. There you go, all-time index. Let's get an exact number too, by the way, for Bitcoin at 76,542, because I want to be exact. Again, as I started today, everything that I do is based on exact levels. We utilize zones and confirmation with the harmonic pattern framework to have a clue, but certainly we have been dead on about this change in character. It really started like 6-7 weeks ago. I'd say for the last month, We've been pretty clear on the fact that, and I was even lamenting the fact, like this, where this arrow is pretty much where I was like, geez, I think I'm a little late on this call and I shouldn't be. But I've been really clear this month. And those are some of the realities of trading. I don't know. Oh, check it out. S&P just bounced exactly off of that 5250, folks. That could be a big move for the day. I'll come back and visit that. 595250 was the exact number on the ES. I'm looking for that to turn there, or it dies. Or it dies. Or it's, you're done and we're going to do major things. We'll get to that in a second. A lot to talk about today. I'm not going to spend a hell of a lot of time on crypto because it's clear. And let me just kind of come back around and say, as I've always said, this is a Bitcoin cycle. Bitcoin has to be running to get the allocation for anything else to move. I don't care about dominance. I don't care about ETH to Bitcoin ratios or anything. Bitcoin has to be going up. It's going down. And so 76,542, 76,4 on some other feeds are all, pretty clear now. Anybody that was yelling at me at 95 or 98,000 about looking for this to drop, first to 91, then to 76. Yeah, I think they're now checking out what we do. So if you're one of those people, well, I don't hold a grudge. Welcome. Hopefully you learn. Hopefully this is a value add to your trading plan. I personally think that people that don't realize the essence of harmonic patterns are missing the boat on valuable information that you can ignore at your own risk, but why would you? So here we are. Bitcoin currently 84,450, call it. And where are we doing? This is an important update because going into the weekend, we could see some action. We've got the end of the month tomorrow, like I said, but just line it up. The daily time frame, we are not coming out of that zone anytime soon. Not today, maybe tomorrow, but not with this kind of a thing where we have both HSI and amplified deeply oversold. Those would need to come all the way out before we would even consider a turnaround in price. And I think people are vulnerable. I think the Bitcoin maxis and all of I don't know, man. The meme coin people are destroyed, yet you still have people saying you got to believe, you got to believe. I've seen that show before, okay? And it doesn't end well. I'll highlight one or two, but, not to spend a whole lot of time. I don't want to sit here and trash talk all of these markets, other than the fact that a lot of them are becoming dead markets. That's the worst thing you could ever be involved with. You get into something and it goes dead and you never recover. Like, I don't just, it's inexcusable. We have to be real, folks. 96,542 Bitcoin daily. And you know what? If we don't turn around, let's say we drop tonight, tomorrow, into the weekend, we could get that 76.5 by Sunday. We're in an acceleration environment, especially with this drop, especially with this kind of oversold reading. Last time we saw that was August. Let's look. Here's August. Okay? And again, I've been mentioning the fact for a while that the character of this retracement is going to be a lot like what we saw in August. And here you are, deeply oversold, okay, like that. But look at your amplified. Very similar characteristics. We will be talking about all of this on the 21st of March for our course. So if you want to get involved with that, please get the software now. Get the trial, send your TradingView username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. And then the first person to type in HPC 30 will give you a 30-day package, and you can come to the course for free. Yeah, I'm still giving these stuff away. A lot of people taking advantage of it. It's great. And then a lot of people go and subscribe because they realize like what's going on, the kind of levels we dish out. Vladdy's, you win. Vladdy's love. Nice. Welcome to the show. HPC 30. You need to send me you got to send me, hold on. You got to send me a message, DM me at the Discord, and I'm gonna put that link in there right now. Okay, hit me up on the Discord. That's the only place I'm doing it, and you also join our Discord. We'll give away one more. I always want to keep you guys on your toes. That's our Discord, okay? Check the chat. But listen, the measurements are the same. The analysis is the same. We look at the patterns the same way. And where we are right now, relative to any kind of past history, let me get a big fat arrow, is we're right there. We're here, dropping. We should go into what I call a serial move, bar over bar decline now. You know, back in August when we had that big breakdown and we were in the oversold, we were trading like 60K and we had that flush to 49. Also amplified, deeply oversold here. Same deal. We are in the same situation, guys. I want to get you ready for this. I want you to be ready for 76K. And it could happen in 3 days. So you're here, we're here on oversold in both situations, but not until we get some kind of turnaround. You're going to need a green bar, a couple green bars. We're not doing that right now. I'm not going to say absolute free fall because this is just still, in my opinion, it's still a simple retracement within the longer term uptrend. Some people have not been able to deal with that reality that as strong as Bitcoin's history is, it still goes through natural market dynamics. You rally to a 1618. You can't get through that 1618. Okay, and then you have to pay the price. You got to pay the piper. That's how the markets work. You go up, you get overbought, you retrace, have a nice little 382 retracement. These are natural market dynamics. That's not the one I want. I want the big monthly. Sorry, that's just the daily, weekly. Here's the monthly. Okay, following just simple 1618 mechanics. 1618 in nature and the markets is the first place we would consider something to be oversold. We'll talk about that, like I said, in that course. Definitely, Vladdy's hit me up in the Discord to get with the situation. And 1025, guys, forever and a day. Been saying that over and over again. And now we're going to say 382 is like, you know, that monthly 382 is like 73. All right, but I'm thinking more like, let's look at 76. But that's pretty nasty. And people they were not prepared for this candle. They were not. Were we? Yes. And was there something up here as well? In addition to that 1618? Sure. We had the yellow dot confirmation. Yellow dot with that open bar trigger was right there at 97, okay? The definitive reasons why. I'm not just pulling this stuff out of my you-know-what. And everything that I do is based off the software. Okay, and it's always been my dream. Always been my dream to have a software that can actually tell us, do harmonic patterns work? How do they work? What are the best harmonic relationships? And then put it together to define opportunities. That's what we do. So, you know, this big candle, That's a nice retracement candle. You're almost looking for something like what happened. Go back to the 2021 cycle. You had something like that, and then you had a little follow through to the downside. That would get a 76, 75. We'll also notice we're almost going to back test that 886 prior all-time high. So many things here at 73 to 76 that I think, the crowd has kind of capitulated to this retracement finally. They're not looking for a million BTC just yet. And nor should we. There's a natural building process. Okay, does this mean that maybe it's the end of the cycle? I don't think so. But it's just another step in the process, a rather, I would say, predictable process, especially within harmonic pattern framework, a lot like what we saw last year at the 886. A lot of similarities. Hit the ratio, hit the level, get the monthly HSI confirmation, and cap it until you see demonstrative action to take that out. That's what we're doing, guys. What's up, chat? More and more people coming in. Welcome, some scragglers. Great to see you guys. What's up, Echo? Echo Leaf in the house. Jason, where you been, man? Jason Laidlaw, haven't seen you in a while, but welcome back. Fab. He wants to ask, does book one help with fib retracement levels we should be using? I don't think the standard fib levels include for harmonic like the 886. Great question, my man. I really, again, all this stuff I'm going to review as a early foundation in the course. But listen, go over to harmonictrader.com, become a basic member, which is only need your email address. The foundation material is free, and I mean there's a lot here. Let me just show you guys really quick, especially we've had a lot of new folks, and I encourage and welcome everyone. There's the books. Personally, I think everyone could dive into volume 3 for the complete compilation of the entire methodology. But volume 1 does have the essentials, and it really, like, the thing that for me that I find is a great starting point that a lot of people aren't really looking at is understanding the ratios themselves. They start with the 618 and 1618. Why? Because those are natural cycles in nature throughout the universe. All right, where we see many natural processes that reflect these proportional ratios. I mean, I go into some examples, and then there are derived ratios like square roots and whatever. Okay, and what it does, instead of looking at things like 10%, 20%, 30%, all the way to a 200% or 300%, we're utilizing the mathematical ratios, and it's related to this growth concept. And I don't mean to bore people with all these Fibonacci golden boxes and spiral ratios, but just the simple empirical fact that it exists and you see it throughout, and then when you apply it to the markets, it's like, okay. So volume 1 explains that, and I would get into that. Like even pi 314 is not exactly related to the 618 or 1618, but when you're looking at like cycle analysis, utilizing just circular measurements, that's all what a cycle really is measuring half a circle. Pi is effective, and we build that whole framework based on it. So dig in there, guys. And then the volume 3's got the rest of the things where if you're looking for a primer, especially new folks, go to there. Okay, and explains that there's certain really, what are the realistic points of view, things like defining character, why the markets move up to move down. Like, the market's always looking for equilibrium where buyers and sellers balance each other out. And when you see those natural fluctuations, okay, the market, you will find that the market naturally follows this framework. Now, I'm not saying be exclusive in this either. Look, whatever works for you that helps you to see levels, define market character, go with it. And it's all involved with that process: identification, execution, management. But the levels, the things we do here, it doesn't take more than 10, 15 minutes of working through the software to notice, oh, okay, yeah, market responded there, market responded here. I mean, it's a great question. And I encourage everyone to do the deep dive, but the real essence here is to use the software first as a learning tool so you understand market dynamics. You can come into the market and you have a clue of where it's going, and then build upon that knowledge. Remember what I said about the S&P at 5250? Look at this now. I started that this morning. I started that literally with today. And look, 50, and it's literally that exact, guys. Look, 59, 52, 50. I just said that was an instant back check back here, critical low here of at least a day trade. There's an opportunity in terms of day trading of how we would look at it on a 5-minute. Now that's up 16 on the S&P. We started and said 59, 52, 50. And now we're up 17, 18. I didn't trade it because I'm talking to you folks, but we get those opportunities all the time. So dig in, and I really do mean dig in. Like, if you're here, you're probably serious about the market, improving your skills, and making, the markets a part of your life to literally be that additional resource to break through financially. You have to be able to read the market. It starts with strong identification skills. Get in there. Yeah, volume 3. What's going on? You got hard copies of the oh, you do, Echo Leaf. You know what? Volume 3 is out of print. I'm going to have to do something about that. Anyway, let's just wrap up this Bitcoin situation, and then we will do deep dive on the markets. But again, get with the program now. That's what we're all about. Bitcoin right there. Little 5-minute. Check out Bitcoin on a 5-minute. There you go. I mean, that would be something, at least as a little day trade, whereas a type 2 shark and perfect confirmation, all of that right there at 84,360. That's the idea right there. I mean, right there, software framing the whole thing out. Really nice. But the greater work that needs to be done would be the healthiest retracement pullback, okay, for Bitcoin now. And dare I say that, like, even the monthly chart, so keep an eye on this monthly candle, because you would really want that to only be a 1-month phenomenon. I think you take out the low, which is 82,000, unbelievable. Take out the low, flush out all the longs that are trying to get long here, and come in a little bit. On the monthly chart, check this out. I'm now watching this breakdown. That's official. All these things will be official. Okay, and tomorrow is the end of the month. And then we're going to see whether or not that breaks down on the 50 on the monthly. Here's the other big deal before I get off the Bitcoin, is that on the weekly chart, so this is going to take you to Sunday, whether you like it or not, and it might even be into next week. We're deeply oversold. Amplified, our RSI indicator, I mean, it cracked the 50. That was the start of the acceleration. and now flush it. You just, at this point, you just stand to the side and you wait for these numbers to get hit. What do I think 76 is a buy opportunity? Maybe if we get confirmation. Do I see drop being a fast setup? It could be a fast setup. I mean, I think that 72 number, 73 number, that could happen pretty quick, guys. Listen, once they crack 80K or really crack 82,000, I just want to kind of get in front of this and tell you the kind of character to be expecting, that if this rolls over, like maybe we resolve this 5-minute pattern here, and the 5-minute at this point, I'd be all over it. Okay, let's see what happens here on that 5-minute shark. But you fail 82, there's going to be nothing. Then they'll take it to 80, and then once they crack 80K, they will take it to 76 or 73 even. I think 73 would be a good overspill level, but it's going to be taken there in steps. Yeah, we'll get to stocks. Hey, Victoria, she wants to look at bonds. You got it. We'll probably do a little deep dive on bonds and gold. Gold down, thank God. Gold doing its first correction. It was down 50, now only down 30. We'll get into that. What's up, Daniel? He says a tough thing about BTC is we'll wick all the way down and back up in a couple hours. It sure could. But I would say 76.5 is a massive number, that it's a type 1. It would complete this type 1 on the crab. And I would be ready down there. I wouldn't have automatic longs. But look, even the daily here is oversold, where you wouldn't, until that comes out of the zone, you just let that do its expansion. There'll be plenty of time. Yeah, absolutely. Sure, we'll get to those. And yeah, why not, Freeze? What's up, Freeze? Wants to look at oil today. Yeah, let's do a little commodity run. I said in the last several sessions, I do think it's time to think rotation. Consider other plays, other markets, things other than, big tech. I showed a couple. We'll get into a few more. And the only other thing I really want to talk about is Ethereum. See a lot of people saying buy the dip. It has not dipped yet. And I just want to work through why. Because Ethereum, to me, has got overwhelming harmonics. I've talked about this. I'm tracing out that shark. But listen, the whole type 1 reaction, type 2 reversal is a phenomenon that took me a long time to really define in a concise, consistent manner. That, we've been aware of that reactive capability. But when you see stuff like this, where you do like a 1-bar flush out and then you automatically go back to T1 and you can't get through, that just is screaming, I need a retest. And here we are. 2324 has always been the T2 point, which the software has outlined, but no confirmation. And I'm always looking for confirmation, but I treat it as mandatory for the type 2 reversals. They take longer, okay? And I simply don't want a T2 type 2 without it. And what's happening here? Just describe what you see. What's HSI doing? It's under the 50. It's trending lower, about to come into the zone. What's Amplified doing? It's still in the oversold. Don't even consider it till that comes out. What are the range possibilities here? Well, 2324, you're there, but like 2K psychological level, retesting that prior low, which is about what, 2120? This is just beckoning a 2K retest, maybe 1848. I know, like the Trump boys, Trump Jr. and stuff have been saying buy ETH. They were saying that at 2,700. This is where your brain is going to be smarter and be stronger than the general narrative where people are screaming at their charts saying, buy, buy, buy. Please think for yourself. You guys can follow along with me, okay? But I would still tell you, you have to come to your own decision. You can use the variables I talk about. You can use anything that really works for you. But define your levels, look for confirmation, and clear price action in agreement. Like, I wouldn't even touch this deep crab until I even saw a daily green bar. Again, simple strategies, simple correlations that have to happen before I would even consider an opportunity. A lot to get here. Yeah, I just think it's the crypto space, and I want to do, last one I want to do is Doge, which I still say is going to 12 cents. It's now at 20. It's Gartley here, but we've got issues. And the Gartley, the problem was this little nasty reaction had a counter HSI arrow sending it back down. You're at 20.4. I don't care. Talk to me at like 11 or 12 cents. Because what's went on here, a week ago, a couple of weeks ago, actually, it's a weekly chart, 3-4 weeks ago, was this simple breakdown here, X, and it all starts with the M and W formations. A, B point at a 55%, that's a bat. C's at a 786, beautiful harmonic levels. And then throw it down to the 886. 886 on Doge. Sorry, pro the Doge, but you're going to 13 on the bat. This breakdown, we call that a harmonic breakdown. And this is not what if you're into meme coins, you don't want to see King Meme Coin be doing stuff like this, breaking down, accelerating, because what happens is that typically go twice the distance in half the time, at least on a percentage basis. So stuff like that, just another round tripper. Amazing that it went from 12 to 48 and now back down to 13 or 12. That's what's going on. I mean, I want to be adamant about where we're going, and we're not there. Speaking about adamant, let's jump into the stocks. That S&P call that we started at the beginning of the session at 52.50 is now up 23. That's what we do, folks. And this could be a nice rebound. I like it. Let's follow along for the rest of the session on that. We started the session right there. 52.50 is a yellow dot check back. What's the pattern? A completed T1 shark. I do want to show you guys this. Like, what the hell is going on with the markets? Listen, we're really scraping bottom of the barrel here. And you need to see on a larger time frame, we need to see some progress. Like here, or we fail it, forget about it. We're going to get that bigger picture. Here's the hourly. Big crab pattern. Tagged the hop twice at 59.34. That's it. As I started the session today, it's all about exact levels. So 59.34, pretty clear, okay? Let's say next week we're trading under 59.20, 59.10. You're going to have to default out to your next larger time frame, which I'd say go to the 4 hour, and you find yourself back at, 5,800. Here you go. It's like this. Just giving you next step possibilities here. To me, let's see what happens right here. I mean, we could have a little recovery bounce. It's been a lot of destruction all week. But the obvious retest at 58.15 is really the only possibility. Under 59.20, put that in for next week. But if we fail this support here, 58.15 or lower. And I also want to be clear about the Qs, which is we've been talking about, it's been a frustrating 10 weeks to start to the year. But we have talked about the type 1 all year long. I mean, it's been something where I just said, guys, we're just in reactive territory where markets are going to go zigzag. They're going to be choppy AF because of stuff like this. Oh, let's go to the daily. Hold on. What happened up here, I think, is a great example of why we optimize. Because a pattern is just a pattern. You can get reactions off of it, but without confirmation, I don't think you can expect more than short-lived reactions. We got this secondary confirmation here back at 537. And ever since then, what? Down, hard down. And here you go. We've been oversold for 4 days, and we still are. There's Amplified, there's HSI. These are easy things to read. Yes, I would be looking at this as it is defined as oversold. That is the character, but it is not even thought of as a signal until we can turn around. So you're going to need to do a little work. We got to get out of that hole before you consider this over. And we've talked about why that was so critical just last week. I mean, they closed that week on it last Thursday. What a hell of a week. We were just printing that dot last week. And now everybody's calling for super bear market and, it's all over kind of a thing. It's not over. It's a type 1 reaction. And I think that is, in a larger sense, for a lot of people, when the harmonic light bulb goes on, okay, they're able to understand with the proper expectations what to be looking for. No, it's not the end of the world. It just like Bitcoin, we are in a type 1 reactive retracement. QQQ. If we got the 487, kiss the sky. That's a gift in terms of the long-term outlook. Long-term considerations. We want to be buying this, okay, when the market pulls back within a major uptrend. It's just not there yet, and it's taken, I'll say this, a longer than expected time frame. And I always say, what about 30 bars? Well, that was 30 bars the first time, and then we generate confirmation. You kind of reset it. Reset it from there. What happens within that 30 bars? Like you're 30 bars off of that. We check back, put in another dot. So the character of the market is still down. Yeah, we're not doing super chat. I don't do the super chats, guys. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the gesture. If you want a super chat, just go get the software. That's going to help you. And for me, the software clarifies that it destroys all of the fake harmonic pattern people. Then that's not as much of a problem anymore. About 10 years ago, it was a real problem. And so what's the way to deal with it? Make all of the foundation material for free that people were charging. People were taking my books and literally just reprinting as courses and selling them for $1,000 or $2,000. And there's garbage harmonic pattern software out there. I say if you want to try that stuff for free, good luck. It is not going to show you what harmonic patterns are all about. Do yourself the favor, invest in yourself. Okay, get over there. At least just start with the trial. That's what I say for everybody. Just start with the trial and go through all of the harmonic pattern stuff here. All the webinars, they're here. Okay, and then get with the Discord. Oh, we even have those cheat sheets, guys. I don't feature the people have asked me for cheat sheets. Look, there's like 4 of them. I think I have to put one more up, but get all of those. It's all free. And that was created by members. So shout out to the members. I really appreciate it. Take all of that, all right? This is where we are with the markets. Everyone was thinking explosive up, but markets aren't showing that yet. That's the cues. The big thing on the SPY, I have to get into this, and then we'll look at your request. Here's the SPY. Let's go the weekly. Monthly, actually, even better. Monthly's like this. And I have come back to this at least once a week, and I will continue to do so all year. This pattern is going to define the rest of the decade. Okay? What do we do off the pattern? Are we going to reverse off of these signals? Which is 602 is that trigger. You're putting in a bearish month, but not yet. Here's the big deal on monthly. You're at the 50 level. So if we're going to see something larger, it's going to have to unfold in the next month or two, especially with amplified, like a down month this month, and then I would say, we do a 3-bar violation under 573, put that in your brain. Yeah, then we're going to deal with a larger pullback, which wouldn't be surprised. After last year and all of the fake stimulus and money wasted and spent, I would almost embrace this. Not there just yet, but we are staring major patterns in the face that are going to define what to expect next 3 to 6 months. Let's see. But this is a critical close, and I'm going to come back to this. This, not only are we under the 50, we're below the October reading. All right? Those are critical spots. A lot to get to. There's a lot. All right. Let's come back here. Let's get a couple things here. Let me scroll back up and look at you guys. See what Victoria wanted to look at the bonds. And that might not be let's just jump really quick to bonds. I'm going to jump all over the place. If you guys have some stocks, you have some things you want to shill, let's do it now. Let's go to the funds. Bonds, sorry. 2-year bond. And of all the bonds that I'm looking at, the 2-year bond is the one I would be focused on. There's the monthly. And remember, the 2-year yield, again, with the 1618 expansion, if this is new for folks, please understand the 1618 is a primary simple metric where we have to start to assume that the market has moved too far, too fast in one direction. Of course, we're going to look at other complementary readings, overbought signals, divergence, what have you. We have a dot up there. That explains why the 2-year yield was not able to rally to stratospheric heights. And then what has happened since? You've had a couple of HSI signals down here, but we still have a lot of work to do. And then you look at, say, your monthly here. These are the readings, critical readings. Are we going to have a problem with interest rates going higher? Or are they going to continue to go lower like this monthly declining amplified reading is telling us? I would look at it like this. We're back at another 50 test, like there and there. So this is a huge monthly reading. And if the 2-year yield stays where it is, like let's say it closes today and then we get a follow through, that tells us yields are going to continue to come in. I am of the opinion that yields will come in and they'll have to come to that 382 metric. And that's around 3%. We haven't gotten there yet, but I said that over a year ago that I really felt the 1618 that had capped the whole thing, even though people were freaking, we were at 5%, and the 382 would have to come lower to resolve that whole rush, which it was. I mean, I think that was an artificial kind of a rush move based on a lot of artificial spending. 2.97, and that's how we get there. Weekly is showing overbought and rolling over again. So if you're worried about rates going up, I'm not. I'm actually looking for rates to come back in a lot lower from current levels. And daily is like this. We're breaking down. Yeah, a little shark pattern. Look, real nice shark under 4%. But that has to complete. So with all of that, yeah, no big deal. Really not a big deal. And just for grins, as they say, the 10-year yield's similar. The 2-year yields, that's fast money. Super short-term money. Daily on the 10-year yield, okay. You have a crab right off the top. And first sign of confirmation on the daily, sure. Maybe what you could do, at least on the 10-year yield, is come up a little bit. But I would still look at that as reaction. Come back down for the return retest, 432 level. So still early on all of that. But this, much like the 2-year yield, and this is probably, I think, even clearer, you ran into some long-term stuff. Levels, resistance. Up there on the monthly, it's like that. Oh yeah, look at this. And remember, you had big patterns at the lows. On the monthly chart, it was a perfect type 2. Type 1, and then back down for the 2, right at the low was the perfect green line confirmation HSI trigger line. I don't think yields, I think yields are overdone. I think, for both 2-year, 10-year, if we got back to 3%, 2.9, something like that, that's really where we should target it. Yes. Couple more. Okay. So what about all that stuff? You guys were looking at things like, I don't know. You guys wanted to look at like gold and bonds and silver. What's up, Bob? Bob wanted to look at silver. Let's do a quick silver gold reckoning here. Gold's like this. Gold is just, it's coming off of this attempt at 3K. And I'm still favoring an eventual 2618. That's on a monthly chart. It's pretty amazing. That's off of the 2008 debacle, 2010, I guess. And then the other long-term projections, and these matter. Price history is a chart of trading behavior. And so you got to go back there. Let's go there. And I know we're up against a couple of major levels. There's XA and then the B point here. What are we looking at? Oh, we're well above that. Hold on. Got too many numbers here. One second. 2900. No, where's 3618? 3618 is like there, 2400. I mean, that's just taking it out. Let's dial it back. I think I really wanted to. No, I know what I was doing wrong. I wanted to go off of the 2020 versus the 2010. These two metrics, because of that pattern. Let me clean up the chart. It's like this. Measuring off of a pattern also increases our, I guess, reliability, kind of the confidence I would have. Ever since that 1618 breakout for us, we have talked about going to that level and then taking out 2,500, went straight to 3,000. That's a character change. I think we're just reacting with the larger, let's say 2618 minimum, and we won't, and that's 3350-ish, and we'll stay with that until it's hit. I would just be looking for continued pullbacks. We have a couple short-term things, like check out the crab pattern on the daily. This is the first pattern we've seen in a while. I mean, really, since the Gartley on the daily, amazing. Now we have a deep crab. So let's go in retracement phase. Just like Bitcoin and the rest. Makes sense? So what would I look for here? No confirmation, but let it come back to T1. We know it's already started. You hit T1. There was the 1618 off of last fall's correction. And you guys remember what I was saying about the seasonality? Okay. Gold seasonally is bullish, basically November into February. Here we are, last day. One more day left in February, and we're rolling over. Not surprised. So let's have gold come back to 2,800. People are going to freak out. Get used to it, but 2,800. Gap fill back here at 2820. What is that? 2780, sorry. T1, 2805. And that's the position for it for now. Silver is interesting because, look, silver is getting overlooked in my opinion. Here's the daily. You know, we're up against some big patterns right at 30. Big psychological level is 30. I'm not surprised. I don't think it's a time to be going long. But let silver come in. And then the weekly, it's like that. I knew there was the fat bat pattern. Finally, there you go. There's confirmation again after the first one. So a lot of things here, 2930 to 2965. And, you know, I'm not, maybe not, normally I would say type 1, but let's take it in chunks. I'd say 2660. Just let it come in. I mean, a simple assessment, like you open your chart, you look at the market. What do you see? A big bearish pattern. Some red arrow. You might not even understand what that means, but it's pointing down. Are we going long? No. Let it come together. We'll look for some kind of oversold situation, but check this out. You know, we're completing the inflection literally this week, today. Be aware of it. Yeah, I'll jump back and forth to crypto if you guys want, but let's get some of more of these stocks out of the way. What's up, Michael Yoga? You doing yoga today? Michael Yoga wants to look at Visa, also known as the Loan Sharking Company of America, and that's still strong, man. 358. We got a daily oversold. Now, here's a market I would look at where you say, well, that's at all-time new highs. Why would I buy it? Is because this little last retracement let out so much air in the tire. You're now headed back up. And even the 50 level here, super strong. I mean, I don't know how, like, it blows my mind. I really like I get it while you can, but, you know, if you're charging somebody 28% interest, you're a loan shark. That's my take on it. The weekly is amazing. I mean, just look at that. Longer term, I do think this is overextended, but the short term, that daily reading, you know, look at the last several readings on the daily HSI. Fairly remarkable. there and there and there and there. For me, on a price level basis, I think it's gone a little far. But if you see that thing continue, don't be surprised. Next earnings are Tuesday, April 29. Remarkable. And why not? Let's look at Mastercard while we're at it. I haven't. No, MA. I remember my symbols here. Mastercard. What's here? Overspill of that deep crab. Amazing. I don't have anything constructively bullish on that, but that's just amazing. Let's go a few more. Energy and oil for Mr. Freeze. Why not we do XLE, my man? XLE, we haven't looked at that in a while. And I think it is interesting. Like, this is a unconventional harmonic pattern. I know this is on a monthly too. Check this out. So XLE has been up here, I mean, perfectly. Couple patterns. You got to go back 10 years on this. 97 to 99, that's your monthly resistance. Software just printed that T2, was back in April of a year ago. Not a heck of a lot of movement. Neither up nor down. That's pretty remarkable. What's HSI doing? What's Amplified doing? Starting to turn up. We're still under the 50 level. I'm not looking for much there. I mean, these have been really dead markets. You go on 2 years to be in that tight range of like 84 to 90 is about it. Typically, I would say, hey, this is losing mojo, but we haven't seen any counter HSI signals. Like the last time we had a counter signal was back there in August 22, sent it back up into the zone, and a delayed confirmation. So respect that. I mean, there's a lot better markets to be sizing up. But why not let's look at the futures like light sweet crude. Shout out to NYMEX, going way back in my day. Light sweet crude, yes, there you go. Interesting, light sweet crude has been basing in that bat level, that bat pattern on the weekly for years. I mean, you can't tell me that, look, when you see stuff like this, you recognize that clearly there's something to that level. You don't have to even know anything about harmonic patterns. But I think everyone would agree, gee, $70 is for some reason is strong support. It's the swing 886 retracement here. Gone sideways. The only problem I have with crude oil is this counter HSI signal that at $78 has capped it. So, move down your range. The new range is basically, I would say, like 68 to 78 until we can get another oversold signal, and it's coming. So, I mean, not a lot to talk about, but probably lower until we can generate something else, and we could come down. We could easily take out these lows and go lower. There's just not a lot to glean from that chart. And I go monthly here. I remember when it went, I mean, that was amazing. What a scam that was. Negative 39 a barrel. But, not much to look at, and you need to see some action here. I mean, crude oil has kind of gone the way of natural gas, which we haven't looked at in a long time. And let's just go to the futures. That UNG that served me well for like one big trade. Nat gas down here at $2 is probably a floor, almost at 4. But again, seasonal time period. That Ocnovi spread. Shout out to Larry. What up, buddy? October is always that pivotal month for nat gas, and you see that change. I mean, Aug, Sep sometimes too, but October, November spread is where things start to heat up, and then we get February, March, we start to think probably chill out, and that's, I would guess nat gas is, you're probably hitting it at the moment. Oh yeah, look, I haven't looked at nat gas in a while, but check it out here. Okay, nat gas, perfect type 2 deep crab. Even if you don't understand the patterns, you can read the signals. Type 1 reaction to T1, that was it. HSI and a dot to get you, send you back into the range, and there you go again. That's the front month. That's continuous nat gas on the NYMEX. So, you know, type 2, send it back down for T2. I mean, it looks like these are ready to roll over, guys. Energy prices in general. Yeah, a couple more. What about what's up, Stara? Wants to look at, is that a POC? At least it's not POS. POC, what is that? Is that a exploration? What is POC? I'm trying to catch up here. Don't know. Let's look at really quick. Let's look at a big integrated oil. There's Chevron. I mean, despite that failure of crude oil to do much, we've been back-to-back patterns, and I would still say, you know, getting up here, like 163 for Chevron, not a problem. Or ExxonMobil, that looks a little better. I like what I see in the stock. 108's a type 2 deep crab. New 3 ideas. And then pick up the dividend. Also, love the refiners. Look, I'm always looking for entries on Valero and ConocoPhillips. And Valero is coming back down. So this is a big deal here, guys. Valero going to give us a big type 2. You know I'll be on that. That's a major possibility in the next few weeks. I like that a lot. What's up, Daniel? With the great list, as always. I'm just catching up on the chat. Apache, APA. Not really. What's here, man? Didn't we look at this? Yeah, it was, yeah, but no confirmation. Okay. All right, this is good. Why is it good? Beautiful Gartley. Software is picking up. Where's your dot? This is why I say go with confirmation. Where's the dot? You registered the T1. That's a weekly chart. Okay, but it's just a chart. It's not a trade opportunity. I need to see the dot. I need to see HSI. Nowhere to be found. That goes lower, man. Yeah, that's going to go lower. All right, one other one. It was CRGY. We talked about that in the chat. That's going lower. LBRT, Liberty Energy, not much there. Daily, not much there. I mean, you got this. Yeah, I have maybe the end of the reaction, but I don't. I would rather have. There's a prior pattern around 16. Maybe on that one. Let's come back around on that one on Tuesday. I do think a lot of these are depressed, but we need some confirmation. That's all. Let's keep it going. What is MY? Oh, the Dow. What's up, Red? Wants to look at the Dow, the YM or the MYM? Sure. We know the deal on the Dow. Okay, daily. All right, there's an HSI that checked back. Oh, look at that shark. You should have been there 2 days ago. Shark to 5.0. Okay, that's something. That's probably the most constructive stock index I have seen. It's a shark to 5.0. T1 dollar sign has gone on. You know, basically 43,500. They're trying to floor it. Can we get a dot? Like, I think you need a green day today and a green day tomorrow. And then maybe you start looking next week. I do know that this has got weekly. Let's go to the index because we have a lot of the same patterns there. And again, I'm not trying to get overly bearish and over my skis saying, just damn this market, it's all over. Because we got, much like what you saw in S&P, that's a massive pattern. We don't have the breakdown signals or confirmation just yet. If anything, it's kind of like Bitcoin where you had early confirmation, then you go counter HSI. Arrows pointing green, push it back up into the zone. Weekly's like what? It's still screwing around. It's still, that's still in between. And again, that speaks to the nature of this market, which is trade it, don't marry it. Okay. I mean, I would say the best you're going to do in a market environment like this is to be buying and selling every couple of days. You get into a position, it pops, you clear it out, and you re-enter. Like, think reaction for the whole market. We're continually in a reactive market. Here's a great look. In the beginning of the year, from November, we did a big reactive move. There's perfect confirmation, yellow dot. And then you would expect it to go to T1, just sails all the way through. Where is the dot on to end that reaction? All the way up there. And then come all the way back down. I would say not the most ideal of confirmation levels, but it was a pretty clear T2. So, that's a 4-hour chart. The daily, I'm going to watch that. I'm glad you brought that up. We'll look to the industrials. Look to the industrials for help on the rest of the read. Because S&P is still up from our 5250 level we started today, now 970. Basically getting back to flat on the day where we are right now. Nasdaq's still down 100. Couple more. I will circle back on your crypto. Couple questions. Jack is asking, hey, do I share gold trade setups in silver and gold membership? I do. Okay, a lot of what I do short term is only through the Discord. We do a 3 ideas. Some of the recent 3 ideas were like BABA, like that. BABA at 82. Yes, it was at 82 on BABA. Baidu didn't work out as well. I mean, BABA's still running to 157. Target 1. That was pretty remarkable. Baidu, just to keep it honest, didn't really do the move. We really didn't get that move like BABA got. And BABA's probably only a reaction. Yeah, Baidu's probably a scratch. Like CleanSpark. And I haven't put out any new 3 ideas just simply because of and they're always longs. Okay, I'm not shorting. I'm usually going long stocks, longer term. And CleanSpark, I told you guys I was in that around 11 to 10, added more 1033. We had a pop, and then I posted, and I told you guys I cleared out right on the earnings day. And because we had the counter signals and get back. But most of what we do is through the Discord daily, Monday through Friday. Wednesday's my light day. But again, check it out. DM me, Discord. I'll give you a trial. Couple more. What's up? What are you screaming about, Wayne? Wayne, thank you. You've been looking at SYN. We'll look at SYN in a second. SYN. AMD for Daniel. There's a great example of something. AMD was something we were looking at for a long time. And, as low as 127, we started looking at it. Never took the long because It was either daily or this weekly resolution, which we just hit today, 102.81. That's pure shark to 5-0, guys. That's shark to 5-0. And if you're in that long position on ES, it's time to get out. Rolling over at 70, now 66. I'd probably think about selling that. We'll go to that in a second. But here's the framework, okay? 102.81, we have been waiting for that for months. Is that an automatic? Do we flip it long? No, we don't have anything. All right, that's a first step. First step in the process. I'm just not there. You're oversold on amplified. HSI is a little more troubling. Like AMD 102.80, that's a first step, but this is a problem. You're rolling down. That's how we read it. So no action there. And of course, Nvidia today was like this, up at 126. I'm starting to have some issues with Nvidia. Nothing huge, but certainly I've been thinking we'd come back to 120, where we have some targets. We do have like this 120.79 area. A lot of things here where if I wanted to be bullish, there's more work that needs to be done on Nvidia. Now 126, earnings are out. No more huge moves post earnings. That's I'm not really constructive on Nvidia, and I won't be for a while until we can get oversold, which is coming in pretty much in the next couple of days. And I think it's 120 or even lower. There's a lot of this stuff that I think is just exceeding the amount of time this stuff is taking to do the retracements necessary is getting dragged out. That green line, to simplify it, that's like 116. Again, get in front of it. Let's get in front of this stuff and understand, okay, do we have a clue where the market's going? We sure do. And that's still lower for Nvidia. That kind of stuff, not difficult to be reading that. I think like stuff like Nvidia, AMD, even if you knew something I didn't, I would still say, print me a green week. Print me a green day before we can get into it. I need to see that buying strength. But how do you coincide AMD hitting target 1 right now on the weekly while QQQ is pretty far away? It's a great question. I don't equate it to anything without confirmation. Like AMD, and I agree with you, if QQQ is still rolling over and AMD hit a target, but it doesn't have confirmation, there's still ample possibility for further downside. What's up, Prez? Do I use log scale? No, I don't. For nothing. I don't use log scale at all. Really don't. You now have, come on, Rooster. I've been there with the purple haze. I think there's better things to do. Get with it. Come on, man, wake up. Get out of the stupor. There's too much opportunity to be had. Couple more. GoldenEye wants to look at iRobot. I know this is going to be a low floater. Again, guys, I'm not a fan of low floaters when major markets rolling down and everything. There's iRobot Corporation. I don't have anything for you other than avoid. There's no bullish opportunity. If anything, it looks like a continuation runner. Again, just open the chart. If there's no pattern, where's HSI? Under the 50. What's it doing? It's rolling over again. I just don't like to play around with that kind of stuff when market's in retracement mode. There's the monthly. I mean, you're all the way back to all-time lows here. That's amazing. What was that? It was almost 200? Incredible. Now, Really quick, another one I've got my eye on is Amazon. Weekly chart. No, sorry, daily chart. We're still looking for that 201. Amazon, love the company. It's going to just be on a forever uptrend. But where does that happen? Target one's 201.91. We almost got there a couple days ago. Trying to get out of HSI today. So we're close. We're definitely close on a lot of these. I mean, it's probably lining up for next week. But we wouldn't see a trigger until then. Like, let's get through tomorrow. We got work. Got work. We already did Nat Gas. Rooster, it's okay. I'm just joking around with you. Been there, done that. We did the bonds, but what's up, Zybes? Let's look at TLT. TLT is an interesting, it's got big patterns there. But another counter HSI. Remember, TLT is related to interest rates. Okay, rates, when they go lower, price goes higher, or price goes higher, rates go lower. But counter HSI right now, this is on the weekly. Thought we had some, where are my patterns? Weekly or monthly? There was some big patterns here. What you're looking for, you want to see easy rate environment, I think you have to resolve this. Like TLT, that's the 20-year. Obviously been in a downtrend, has not really affected markets where rates have gone up, and the old association is rates go up, market prices go down. That's not what's happening, but I would say this, that if you can get out of this low TLT around 90, then maybe you have a scenario where rates will have that pullback. Keep an eye on that. I will keep an eye on that. A couple more spray, SPRY. For snipes, I haven't looked at that. A buddy of mine told me about that a year ago. Let's see. Down at 10. Spray, that's it's kind of low floater. Actually, the guy that performed and wrote the intro song told me about Spray, and he's in it like way back here at like 4 or something. Not bad. I mean, that's okay. I think that's a low floater that's going to take time. You probably see some of these metrics. I've got 236. What was that at 18? I would say 382 eventually. 382 is like that. 26-ish. That stuff takes time. You're going to be in a concept stock like that. It will take time. All good though. It's all good, Rooster, for sure. David wants to look at GME. Has that done anything? Talk about narrative. Nothing. I know so many people piled into that, believing it was going to 20,000 a share because it was artificially manipulated. That's a tough way to go. GME here at 25 bucks, maybe something. It's not a trending stock. And I don't, I know what's his face, the Roaring Kitty guy. He's still hyping that. I mean, why not look at AMC as well? I don't have anything there on the weekly, daily. Slow, steady. Last thing we have is a bat pattern. It's a T1. Printing a dot today, so that's something. Maybe you send it from 25 back to 28. That would be my best guess. And of course, the other one was AMC, which has done nothing. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, low floaters. You're going to get your capital will be vacuumed into the ether, probably not to be seen again with a stock like that. Look, if we were raging and the market was super speculative, flying off the handle, maybe there's an opportunity. But I can think of 1,000 stocks, 1,000 markets that have better opportunities than that. ES is rolling down, guys. I don't. Again, this could be for the rest of the day. Now 2 o'clock, 2 hours to go. Yeah, a couple more. Red. I'll circle back to the S&P to finish up, but I think you should be out. We started today at 52.50. It ran 25 to the high, and I would think, if you're not out by now, it's time to clear out. Couple more. Somebody wanted Neo. Again, a Neo, no. I know it's up today, but no thanks. Bat patterns 389. That's all I would say. I would wait for the retest. Neo, there's nothing there. I really, what's the other one that I got burned on this like 2 years ago, Rivian. I swore I'd never go back into these. That's okay. Rivian. Well, like Neo, you're so close to that retest and a whole bunch of patterns, but it's more like 950. Maybe we come back to that in a month or a couple of weeks. What's up, Cameron? Sure, let's peek at what's going on with Tesla. We're still waiting for the dot. 283, guys. That was a big hop level test, but our framework has been the weekly the whole time. And 340 was day one, week one. We still haven't even come out of the zone. This is what, look, any bounce off of 340, that was a reaction. The problem is you're not out. I mean, just because we hit target one, to get that return move, we need to come out of the zone first. That's another level without confirmation, is just a level. And I took a whack at that for a trade off the 5-minute chart and bailed out. Look at, I'm thinking 280 or maybe even 250, but not until we can get out of the zone. So you think about it this way, you probably have 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks before that can actually trigger. And I'm still super bullish on Tesla. I'm looking for the right price. It's like Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's an asset to own long term at the right price. And for me, Bitcoin's 76. Tesla is give me the dot. Give me some confirmation in this box. I mean, that box was from, I think, last time. Few more. Is it going to tank the whole market? I don't think so. I think just like the market, we are continuing in a very stubborn type 1 reaction on both QQQ daily. This is SPY weekly. Does it turn into something larger? Possibly. We just got to be really patient with this. Again, if you want to trade, my recommendation is day trade. If you're in a stock, you're looking for like a 4-hour or 60-minute bounce, that's about it. I mean, there's a failed. There was the prior deep crab, like 328. It popped and rolled over. Couple more. Meta. Yeah, we haven't looked at that in a while. Meta doing another pullback. I think that's an opportunity. Once we trigger some things, there's where's the 4-hour? Yeah, you need a 4-hour something. HSI at 658. Yeah, this is definitely, I mean, look, this is one of the strongest things we've seen. The weekly got oversold there. And yeah, I don't think anything's wrong with Meta. I mean, you're still on this downtrend or uptrend, excuse me. So just retest the uptrend and take it to higher prices. Same could be said for like Netflix, which remember what we said about 1040 on Netflix? 1040 is a big 1618 off of this decline. I mean, geez, the 2022 decline. There you go. It was 1035 to be exact, is the 1618, maybe 1030. We're putting in a yellow dot today on that weekly chart. So 1040 runs into a wall, comes back. Let it come in. Not along. Not yet, at least. And then daily, you've got some obvious things. You know, fill the gap at 900, 890. A lot of things that are printing here that are just simply saying, you know, we're done for now. Let it come in. If it's Meta, if it's Netflix, doesn't affect the long-term trend. I'll tell you what's a couple others that, again, in the crypto space, guys, like MicroStrategy, there's nothing constructive here. I'm going to say, you know, it's still a $200 minimum situation. And I was thinking about looking at what are the possibilities here. I mean, can we draw an M or W shape here? You know, maybe off the July low X. It doesn't really work out because it's kind of it's more like you got to pull it from there. And swing 886 off of last year is more like 150. So I don't have anything that would be constructive that does not help the Bitcoin cause. And I would also say that Coinbase is another one where I think Coinbase, we got to come back to the 167, 165 level. We do have this weekly. Remember the bat pattern? I've been talking about this for a long time, that Coinbase, until we get to 223, is in a type 1 reaction. Still is. And look, we're oversold finally on the weekly, but you're going to be another week or two before that would trigger out. And I would even consider a return move. A lot going on here, but it's still down. Couple more. What's up? Crypto Cartel wants to look at IBM. That had a big post-earnings push. I haven't looked at it since. Weekly 255 on IBM. That's like one of those sleeper stocks people, institutions accumulate all day long. But look at this. Here's another sign. Monthly. Look at that monthly crab pattern. So for IBM, I would really be watching this. IBM, look, it had the confirmation was back in December. Right there. There's the first time we get the dot. That would be our first place, like not even until that closes. And then we look to the next month for the retest there. And yeah, that's super strong, but this thing is kind of pushing up into the top end of the zone. I don't like it. And let's see what happens in the next month or two. But again, a lot of these massive patterns continue to print bearish structures all over the place. IBM, if you're a super long-term holder, a forever stock kind of a thing, just don't be surprised if we eventually go through this type 1 reaction. You're 255 at the moment. Target 1 is 179, guys. Retracement phase. Speaking of retracement phase, S&P's rolling over. ES on the 5-minute. It was a great little signal. Check out what happened here. S&P, we started today's session. I said, oh, interesting little 59.25. We were right here. And then there's overbought HSI on the 5 minutes, sending it back down. I'm not a fan here. I think this thing continues to sell down. And again, I'm gonna be probably by next week. We take out the 5935 target too. This market's going to have a lot more work to do. Even for right now, 59, 57.50. I mean, we're headed back down to this 52 area right now. I can't keep my eye on both, but just so that we're clear, look, we got hourly patterns. I want to be super clear on these levels. All right, we got extended electronic trading hours. With this stuff, this crab pattern, I'm telling you, watch for 59.34. You're 25, 20 something away. If you want to see that larger break to 5,800, it happens under these levels. That could be tomorrow, simply because of the monthly close. A lot there. Yeah, that's the SPY too. Rooster, sure. I didn't mean anything by it, but I'm happy to take that request. Hormel. HML. Hormel Foods. No, not Heritage Mining. Let's just put in, what is it, Hormel? HRL. 28. A lot of those food stocks have big patterns. And this one too. Daily crab, but you had confirmation around 30. Tell me about what's going on. We're still under the 50 level here. Look, you little pop and roll, but down to the 50. What about the monthly chart? Yeah, we have to go on these longer term time frames. 28, maybe as low as 25. I don't think those are bad ideas. I really don't think that's not a bad way to be looking at that, but probably a little lower, 25. You got things like Keurig Dr. Pepper. The daily. We have some patterns. They're lower. They're back lower here. Maybe 29. Maybe Kraft Heinz. That was the other one. KHC. There's some patterns down here. Back at 28.50. That's what I was saying about rotation. It's not a bad idea. I really don't think that's a bad idea. Let's just wait for the ideal conditions. ES hitting that 52 number now. I'd be looking for that full flush before the close today, guys. One or two more. What's gapping up? Crypto Cartel. Don't know that. IBM, yeah, but IBM, if you're talking about IBM, this is where the pattern framework comes in to help you. Because I just think you're faced against some major harmonic levels at 260. I mean, let it get oversold on your next step. One or two more. Grab. Is that, what's Grab? Isn't that, oh, that's like Instacart, right? Grab at 493. Oh, there's a low floater that's moving. Weekly, not bad. I mean, that's nice. Let's get that on the chart. Get that on the radar. I think your next opportunity might be more like 450. But I'm with you. That's not a bad one to be looking at. Or what's Instacart? Instacart wasn't, I can't even remember. Who's got the Instacart symbol? It escapes me. Somebody help me out with that one. Hormel's the beef hash out of a can, sure. We used to eat that back in the 70s. Momo, hello group. I don't know that, but it's an interesting chart. That's a great example of opening up your chart, seeing a bunch of patterns at around $5 to $7. And then I would look at what is that package software. So then maybe I would do a deeper dive on something like that. No rush, but I like a lot of things there. Patterns looking left, broke the downtrend. Can you get me in on like even a 4-hour or daily pattern? Maybe. Maple Cart. Thank you, Crypto Sharknado. I knew it was Maple Bear or something. Maple something. Maple Cart. Maple Bear. Maple. It was Cart. Yeah, Maple Bear. What with all the confusing whatever? Big patterns. Oh, this is like IBM, but on the daily. Like I open up my chart and I see bearish patterns all over the place. Let it come in. That's Instacart, the ripoff. I mean, they're a good service, but sometimes it's a ripoff. You're paying like 20% more what you would in the store. I don't know how that's not price collusion, but daily oversold, guys. And then, of course, you would think like, okay, what's Uber doing? We haven't looked at Uber in a long time. Uber, that's not a bad chart. Look, we're oversold now, and I like that's a simple retracement. So there you go. Wait for that to trigger. I mean, just like the last one, HSI is oversold, but needs to come out. And then, of course, there's the related Airbnb, which had big patterns. Yeah, look at these patterns, man. Bat type 1, perfect type 2 with the HSI, like 157, now 141. I'd even say let that come back to 125. 125 for sure. What's up, Justin? Where were you, at work? No more working from home, right? He wants to look at Roku. And you know what? I like this. I like it because it's off the low, steady retracement. We're getting close to getting oversold. Hold me to that next week. Even the 4-hour, it needs a little bit more. But that's exactly, guys, I want stocks like this. All right, we don't have to pick them clean from the low, but you go up, you do a retracement. You go up again, you have another retracement, and you go again. That's more in a downtrend than some of those low floaters. Sure. Steady, you know I like Walgreens. I really didn't want to give that one away, but I do like Walgreens now. I think there's a private equity play going on here. And remember, Walgreens is this monthly, massive monthly and weekly double dot. 1069 is the number. Monthly, that's huge. Weekly's even better. I mean, look at that, scraping 849. Guys, I got burned on Walgreens a couple years ago at 30 on like 1,000. Sold it at like 25 or 24. It hurt. Now I'm going to have to take another look. You know, maybe on 1,000, something like that. I still haven't. I've held off. Almost went in like a week or so ago. I don't think I can hold off much longer. That's a good one. Oh, the other one, in the W is the Western Union. At 10. 1044. Yeah, those are good. I like that. Need some confirmation, even on a like 4-hour time frame. And that's back at like 10:30, man. Wait for that. The other one, the W, is excuse me, Warner Brothers, WBD, and on the weekly. And so I'm not saying go in large on these, but maybe they're worth a nibble. Hop at 897. Little concerned about that counter HSI, but that's all right. The other one was Paramount. I think Daniel brought that up a week or two ago. Starting to scrape. And you've got some confirmation down here. I don't expect that to move anytime soon. But now is the time to start to go in chunks. 100 shares, couple hundred shares, and then we'll come back in a week or two and maybe add a little more to that mix. There's a lot going on, no doubt. And we're going to have a really critical close tomorrow or even today. You know, I think let's see what S&P does at the close here today. It's like there. A lot to consider. Even that 52.50 we started out with today, and at 70, I was like, that's it, guys. We're back under those levels. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing flush out into the close today. Back down 35 is a key number, guys, and that very well could get hit in the next couple of hours, next hour or two. I'll get back in. My folks will be in the Discord. One more 30-day HPC 30. We'll get you that package. Who wants HPC 30? For those that have hung in for the whole stream. Absolutely. Join us over there. And here's the Discord link. Get with that. Lebo Monster, you're going to win. And Sue, I know you're new. Let's get you in on the 30-day package. DM me in the Discord. We'll set you up a little later today. Everyone else, it's time for lunch for me, a late lunch. But until then, we'll be back on Tuesday. Congratulations to our winners. Sue, yes, you win. And Lebo Monster, I know you won before, but we'll give it to you one more time. Everybody else, have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Back on Tuesday. Hit the like and subscribe on the way out to get more updates. And I'll have information officially next week about our course on the 21st. Until then, enjoy. As always,